Hi everyone, this is Stacy. I am back again today with another Cricut Explore video. For today's video, we'll be doing another home decor project, but we're going to go a little bit out of the ordinary and try glass etching. Don't turn the video off. I promise you it's not that hard. It just requires patience and probably a little bit more patience. Now before I talk about the materials, let me talk about the etching cream really quickly. Alright, this is the etching cream I use. It's just called Armor Etch. Let me zoom in so you guys can get a good look at it. At the price tag is crazy, $19.75 for a little 10-ounce container. I got this, like I said, maybe 5 or so years ago from Hobby Lobby. Please don't buy it full price. It'll just break my heart knowing that you're spending $20 for this. Buy it when it's on sale or use a coupon. It does last a long time. You know, whatever you don't use, you can pour back in here, but crazy price tag. Okay, so you're going to need Armor Etch cream or any kind of etching cream that you like. I just like this brand, okay? All right, now let's talk about what you're going to put it on. I'm going to be using a glass baking dish. If this is your first time doing glass etching, don't use a real intricate round like vase. You want to use something as flat as possible. The baking dish I'm using is made by Pyrex, and you want to pay close attention to your baking dishes as well. This does have, if you can hear that, it's raised there where it says Pyrex. Some dishes have it really raised, or there's a lot of detail in the back. You want to find something as flat as possible. You can even go to the dollar store, maybe buy a round glass plate, try that, or use an old picture frame that has the glass in it, and try on the glass first. This way it's flat. I think flat projects are easier for your first project. So we're going to need that. We're going to need a piece of vinyl, and you want to use a good quality vinyl. You know, you can use the indoor, outdoor vinyl, or even the Cricut vinyl. Don't try doing this with contact paper. I find contact paper a tad bit too thin, and I think the etching cream just eats through that. So you want to use a good quality vinyl, only, you know, an itty bitty piece. A disposable foam brush. I recommend gloves. You know, you can use, I save the kind in my hair dye kits. I save those. You can, you know, buy these kind or what have you. A little lid or a dish you can throw away. What we're going to do is we're going to pour the etching cream in here, then dip our brush into this, and then use this as our surface. This way when we're done, we can throw this away, not worrying about it. So make sure you're using something disposable. Now the first thing you want to do before you get started with the machine, you want to measure your piece here. So I turn mine over, just take a ruler. Okay, so we can see it's about 10 or so inches wide by, if I go to the round part here, by about 5. So to be safe, I'll say 4 by 9. Okay, so I have a 4 by 9 area to work with. Alright, so we have our measurements, we have our supplies. Let's go to the computer and start designing what we're going to put on here. See you in a few minutes. Okay, we are back in front of the computer now. I have my machine turned on. I did turn my dial on my machine set to vinyl. I also put the vinyl on the Cricut mat. We're now going to go to the Cricut Design Space webpage. And we are going to log in by clicking on that little green box in the upper left hand corner. Enter in your email and your password there. And then when you're logged in, you're able to verify that by saying your name in that box. You want to go ahead and click on Create New Project. Now, I'll be using just text. If you want to try an image, you can. But I'm going to be doing just a word here. So I'm going to go to my left toolbar, hit on Add Text, and what am I going to write? It is going on a food dish, so something, oh, we'll do, let me see, all caps here, we'll do yummy. Alright, so there's my word there. I want to go to my edit panel and change that font. I'm looking for more of a chunkier font. It doesn't really matter what font you use, but I like the chunkier ones, so you can probably guess where I'm going. I'm going to go down to Don Juan. I'm going to scooch this aside and make this larger. Now remember, we have about a 9 by 4 area to work with. So looking at this, this is 6 inches wide. I'm going to stretch it by using a little handle here. Make that be about 4 tall, or about 3.5 tall. Stretch out this way. And all I'm doing is watching my edit screen, or my size right over here, so I can see how large I'm going. Now I'm going to go about 8.5, I think. Maybe. Grab that handle. Alright, 8.35. Alright, I'm at 8.35 by 3.78. I'm going to go ahead and hit go. And we're going to see our matte preview screen here. Now there's a few things that we need to pay close attention to here, and I'll explain them when we get there. Feeling a little slow today. Alright, so we have our preview screen. Now on my mat, on my vinyl is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 8 inches tall this way. It's going all the way across. I want to move my lettering kind of in the center of my sheet. You just kind of visualize your vinyl piece here. And mine's going to cut off about here. You want to put this in the center so we have a little bit of vinyl border. You don't want to go real close to the edge, okay? That's first. Second thing down here, you want to use a mirror image. So it says mirror image for iron-on. You want to make sure you do that. Otherwise, and I'll explain what that would look like. Here's my phone. Let's pretend this is our dish. If you put the word yummy, cutting out the right way, it's going to go on top. You want it to go on the bottom, but still read the right way. So we're going to reverse the image there, okay? So we have that. Let's go ahead and bring this back down there. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit go. You want to make sure that you're in that middle area there. Alright, and then we're ready to load the mat. I'll take you to the Cricut and we will watch the cut. Alright, let's go do that. Alright guys, we are back. So you can kind of see where my vinyl is on my mat here. Let's go ahead and put this in. Load the mat, and once again, you have our vinyl up there set to vinyl, or our dial set to vinyl. Let's hit go so we can start cutting. So my vinyl might be coming up a little bit. So yeah, I would definitely try your first etching project on something you're not really going to worry about if you mess up or throw away. But definitely try it on a few, non-good items, I guess, so you can just get your feet wet and see how it feels and get used to how it works. And then just move up from there, like maybe try a glass or something like that. But these make really, really great gifts. And especially with the Cricut, or the Explore machine, you can personalize them by using a logo or an SVG file or their name and a font. So really fun ideas here. And I will be using the clear transfer tape again. And I was asked before where I get that at. I get it from a company online called CricutVinylSupplies.com. It's about $35 for a 100-yard roll. Expensive at first, but it does last a really long time. Alright, so we have our word ready to go. Let's go ahead into my table and put this on our dish. Alrighty guys, we're at my table. The first thing I'm going to do first, before I do anything, is take my mat up. You want to make sure you're using a surface that you don't care about if it gets ruined. I don't think it's going to have effect on the rubber here, but I'd rather not take a chance. Okay, so we're going to put that down there. Alright, let's take this. Let's take our vinyl off our mat. And unlike before, what we want to take off this time are the letters. Normally we take off the outside pieces. We're going to take off the letters, the actual letters this time. So I'm going to be using that dental pick tool again. Let me zoom in. Okay, so look for the letters. Alright, and take the letters off. And this little pick is a really nice little tool for vinyl. So if you do intend on doing a lot of vinyl, this little thing will be a lifesaver. You could, of course, you can use a pin or what have you. Alright, so there's that. Alright, now what I'm going to do is put my dish aside, grab my little card, just like a little credit card type thing here. Alright, put this down. I'm actually going to tape it to my paper right here on that one side. And this side as well, just so I know at least it'll lay flat for me. Alright, take my transfer tape. Here, but tape over the entire thing. Let me squeeze it guys out. Sorry about that. Okay, take your transfer tape, and again, I'm going to lay that down first on my mat here. Take my card and go across. You want to go nice and slow. You don't want any bubbles in this process. Okay? Nice and slow. Slow and steady wins the race. Alright, so it's nice and flat. There's no air bubbles, which is good. Actually, there's an air bubble. Just kind of push it to the side if you can. Alright, now we'll lift this up. Let's bring our bowl back. Hopefully you guys can see this without. Alright, so now we're going to take our backing off. And you want to go nice and slow. You want to try to not get any bubbles. Okay, so leave your paper kind of as flat as you can. You can kind of hold on to the tape here if you use Scotch tape like I did. Just go nice and slow. like that. Okay, now the tricky part is to go nice and slow this way, because we're going to lay this down here. Now I may not be straight because I can't really see my bowl here, but we're going to cross our fingers. Okay, so I'm going to put one side. Actually, I'm going to go wonky, just so I know. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put it on here, lay that down, then carefully leave this side up to move this down. You want to just pay attention there's no bubbles around your letters. If there's bubbles over here, you're okay. Okay, just make sure there's no bubbles near your letter. I mean, you could take a rag, something. I'm going to take a wipey and just really wipe this on there to make sure the letters are down really well here. Okay. Alright, now once we have that, we're going to take our tape off, leaving that extra vinyl we have here. Okay, you want to leave that on your plate and just fold it down if it gets in your way. I'm kind of going on the outside first, just so I get a start where I'm going here. Okay, just kind of push that down. And again, I want to go nice and slow. Leave my tape as flat as I can to get less bubbles. Alright, the bubbles is what's going to ruin your project if you have bubbles here. So go nice and slow. So I'm making it look harder than it actually is. I promise you it's not that hard. It's just been a really long time since I've done this. I want to make sure that I'm showing you guys the right way as well. And just, like I said, I got a few bubbles and a few letters, and we'll work on them in a moment. And now I'm just getting, oh, that was hard. Okay. Now just lay all this down, and then we wanted the extra vinyl here so our cream doesn't spill over. Okay, now if you look at this way, you can see it spells out the word yummy. Okay? Alright, so what we're going to do now is just take a close look at it. If you can see here, you probably can't. See the bubbles up here? These bubbles I'm not worried about. If there's bubbles near my letters, just take your finger. If they're near the edge, like I have a bubble right here in this letter, you probably can't. Oh, there you go. Okay, see the bubbles there? You want to make sure that you just go over them. Okay, just take your finger or a bone fold or something. I'm going to take my wipey here. It's fairly dry wipey. And just really, really rub those in there. Okay, because any kind of air bubble that is in here, the cream is going to get to it. And it's going to make you not happy. And I can't tell you how many things I've ruined thought, oh, it's fine. It really isn't. Okay, so you really want to just go in there and just rub down. Like I said, the outside bubbles, no need to worry. These ones where your letters are, you want to make sure you get them really good. And this is where my word Pyrex was, so it's a little hard there. I'm kind of looking at the side. Give myself a side view, a side angle. Alright, I think we're good. Let's cross our fingers. We're going to be good. Let's take our etching cream. First, I'm going to put my gloves on. Take my rings off. Alright, let's put our surgeon gloves on because we're going to be doing a little surgery here. It's like 1,000 degrees in my room, so my gloves are not going to give me a hard time going on. Alright, ready to operate. Are y'all ready? Ugh. Okay, not quite ready. Whew, okay, we've got our gloves on. You want to give this a little shake. But, you know, if you use mine, like, if you used it before, just cover it with a thing here. And please don't etch on your grandmother's glass dining room table. You want to use a table or a piece of wood that, like I said, you don't really care about. And all these little pieces that's going to fall off, that will, even though it's dried, it will etch. Okay? So we're going to kind of pour this. This is nice and clean. And pour this in there. Hopefully I will have enough. Wouldn't that be funny if I did this whole video and there's not enough etching cream in here. Okay, so hang on for the banging. It's kind of thick. I'm going to do it over here so it will splatter. I mean, the good thing is you don't need a whole lot. I'm looking around to see what I can use to stick in here. And I'm going to get a pencil. Again, it's a pencil I'm not going to worry about. What's this down here? Okay, we can do this pencil. Just to scrape it out of there. Yeah, this is a really good video, huh, Stace? Okay, just to get it out of there a little bit. Alright, so now we're going to take this, and again, if you got any kind of cream down here, you'll want to wipe, okay? I'm going to kind of set that. Yeah, I can't. Alright, so let's scooch this back over here. Take your brush. I'm going to put this on here upside down, so all that will run down there, okay? Let's take your brush. This is kind of wide. Let's go ahead and cut this. You don't need this wide of a brush. Okay. I'm going to take this, and the way I do it, you don't want to brush it on here. You want to dab it. Okay, just dab like this. Okay, if you brush back and forth, you're going to risk going under your vinyl. Just kind of dab, and you can see it goes a pretty long way. And you want to put a good coat on here. You know, whatever, if you're using a new jar, you know, you can reuse this stuff. So when you're done, and you got to wait 15 minutes for this. Okay, the longer you wait, the longer you let this sit on here, the better your etching will be. Okay, so I do recommend waiting a good 15 minutes, and I'll show you the instructions on the bottle in 1 second. Whenever you're done, you just take a scraper and scrape it right back into your container. Okay? I want to really get as much out of here as I can. I probably should have checked first to make sure I had enough of this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to kind of see if I can get in there. Okay, you really want to get as much as you can. So I apologize for the banging. I want to try to get as much even coverage as I can. I'm actually going to pour this down here. Okay. So now just take it and then, again, dab it. You want to make sure you're kind of even. Like here I can see I'm a little bit chunkier. So I can kind of take a little bit from that. And just make sure you're nice and covered. And then you got to let it sit. This is where the patience comes in. Because you're going to want to do it. You're going to want to try it and reveal it. You gotta let it sit, okay? I'm actually gonna keep on banging off this extra here, just so I can get a little bit thicker of a coat. Like I said, the thicker your coat, the better your etching will be, okay? I think this is all banged out. Well, we're good. We have a nice thick coat on here. Alright, definitely going to put this on my list to get. So you want to be careful. If you got a letter like my Y is going to the curve here, you want to be careful on that. Okay. So it's good that this is so thick. Alright, so we're going to let that sit for 15 minutes. Let me get my phone so we can see what time it is. Alright, so it is 5:02. Okay, can you see that? 5:02. So we'll come back at about 5:20. Now I'm going to take this so I can share with you here the instructions. I put my gloves on. Alright, cover the glass or mirror with contact brand vinyl. I said already don't use contact paper. Next, trace your design through cartoon or carbon paper, blah, 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 blah. Overlap the outside edges, blah, blah, blah. Alright, apply a thick layer of Armor Etch cream, brushing up and down. Do not brush up and down. You want to just dab it like you're doing a stencil. Brushing up and down, then left to right to spread the cream over the entire area. Allow etching cream to remain on glass 5 minutes. This timing is for custom stencils or what? Or peel and etch only. Rub and etch stencils require 60 seconds. I don't know the difference, whether it be rub and etch or peel and etch. But we're going to let this sit for 15 minutes at the minimum. Okay, then we're going to come back. Actually, we're going to be in my kitchen sink rinsing this off. Okay, so 15 minutes, I will see you back here. Alright guys, we're back. You're in my bathroom with me, so I apologize if there's some kind of echo. I tried doing this in my kitchen and the birds were not having it. It is right now, if you can see there, 5:15. So we're going to start the process of rinsing this off. Now you don't need your gloves for this part. Just put your water on and just let it rub off. Okay, you can see how I'm doing it. Take your hands and rub it off. And I kind of get it off the vinyl first on the outside. Then I'll take my vinyl off, okay? And if you were to save this, you would just go in here and take like a little scraper, like a little credit card, an old credit card, and scrape it off, put it back in your container. Okay, so now I'm going to take this off the vinyl. It's a little hard here because it's wet. Hope I don't get water on the lens. I think I just got a drop. Nope. Okay, I'm good. Okay, this is probably the worst video I have done. Okay, so we get all this off of there. Alright, so we're good there. We got a trash can right there. Let's go and re-rinse this off. Be careful, don't crack your dish. I would recommend like a little soap. I actually have some hand soap over here. I recommend dish soap to kind of get off any residue. Okay, so just give it a little rinse with your soap. Now I'm using a medium temperature water, not too hot, not too cold. Alright, let's take this off. Let me dry my dish so we can see how we did. Okay, then hopefully you guys will be able to see this. So I put this behind it. No. Can you see our etching? Not really. Okay, let me go to the craft room and I'll put it back on the tripod and we'll look at it better. See you in a minute. Alrighty, here is the big reveal. I dried my dish off and I have it on a piece sheet of black cardstock so you guys can see it hopefully better that way. I will zoom in so you guys can get a better look at it. I did mess up one little area right there on my little M. I'm not going to worry about that too much. I think overall it looks pretty cute. And you can see I did go crooked on purpose. If I were to try to go straight and then go crooked, you can probably tell I wasn't going, or I was crooked. If you purposely go crooked, it looks better, I think anyway. But you can most certainly weld your letters together, make them larger. I just showed you the simpler way. There's, you can of course go more complex with your designs. But I think it looks pretty neat. And I love this technique. The etching is on the back. If you rub your hands across it, you will feel the etching. It's not going to come off. You can most certainly use this in a dishwasher, oven. It's completely safe. It's on the back side of our dish, so it's not near the food area. Again, your first time, I would try a glass plate. I even have a picture frame here, just glass from a picture frame. You can get those at the dollar store. Maybe try a 5x7, a little design. But yeah, I think it's a fun idea, and they make a really great gift. I just think it requires a little bit more patience than I usually have at the time. But the Armor Etch cream, I'll show you this again. Looks like this. It's just Armor Etch is what it's called. Hobby Lobby. Again, please don't pay that price. It's insane to pay that. Use the coupon or wait for it to go on sale. And next time you're at the doctor's office with you or the kids, ask for a pair of gloves so you can use that for your hands. I do not recommend this for a kid-friendly project because you are working with an etching cream. They can maybe get in their eyes or in their mouth or what have you. But when they're done, when the Armor Etch is sitting on there and you take it to your sink to rinse it off, they can most certainly go in there and rinse it off with you, because the Armor Etch already did its thing at that point. I think after 15 minutes it's not really going to do too much, and my son did this with me before as well, and I even let him with the brush, but use your own parental judgment on that. I wouldn't recommend it for the little ones, but I think it makes a really cute gift. You can bake brownies in it, really great for a housewarming party, a potluck dinner for church, or a potluck brunch kind of thing for church. You can put your brownies in it, cover it up, and then when the brownies are gone, voila, they were yummy. Anyway, that is it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know, and I apologize. This video was probably all over the place with me banging in the bathroom and whatnot, but that's life, alright? Anyway, that's it. As always, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.